Right, hello everyone, I'm Tetsu, a former professional For Honor player, and I'm going to be reacting and breaking down what's wrong with Slanderous' video on how to fix Black Prior. I have one of my former teammates, Saucy, with me. He's also
No,
going to be giving critique.
Welcome to my new series
you
of
can call it
videos
that.
where I will be trying to fix everything wrong with every single hero in For
Maybe we
Honor.
can
Boost
skip
damage,
past
stamina
this here
fun.
to the actual start
Starting
here.
with Black Prior. Let's begin by addressing the issues. The bash deals damage, stamina damage, and pauses stamina recovery. His chain offense consists of only 50-50s. This is objectively boring, and I'll go into why. His entire kit is just overall extremely simple, and his crushing counters plus the
I
flip
mean,
makes up for an extremely defensive hero. Now that we know
okay, I wouldn't
problems
say
that
it's very
plague this
simple. He's
hero,
probably one of the most
let's go for
complex
how to fix
characters
them
to
all.
play in Dominion, but
Change number 1, the most simple one that everybody on the planet can agree on. Nerf the opening bash. It's okay if it deals stamina damage, it's alright, but pausing stamina is
It
going
doesn't
too
even
far.
do that anymore, though.
yeah,
Because
they
if he can't
changed
break
that,
the
so
flip,
he
he can keep doing it
released
over
this
and over,
after
keeping
that
you
was
from playing
changed.
the
It's
game.
very interesting.
And maybe even getting you out of stamina without it being your mistake as a player for not being able to manage it.
So
Simple enough.
I'm gonna count this
Second
against
change,
him for
all his combo
not knowing
offense
his
is
stuff.
extremely simple and boring because they're all 50-50s really. You're not going to be able to read a good player if it's something as simple as a 50-50. This is
You're not going to be able to read a good player if it's something as simple as a 50-50. That is just blatantly not true. That is actually hilariously wrong. I mean, we could look at a lot of great players like Scorpion, who just made his whole gameplay off of reads, and he played during the metas that BP was played in, and he did fine there. Like, that's just not true at all.
not a mix-up where you
But
have to read your opponent. This is a gamble. So how about
every
this?
read's a gamble if you
Black
want to look at it
Prior
like
now
that.
has a 3-hit chain instead of a 2-hit chain. His third heavy isn't dodgeable, but his second heavy isn't. Aha, Slanderous, but wouldn't that be a nerf because now Black Prior doesn't have his light and dodgeable mix-up? Or at least after the very first attack. Not really, because now I'm going to buff Black Prior to make him more fun to play. Which leads me to change number 3, the buffs. And
Okay,
a rather big change, so pay attention.
Okay.
Black Prior can now do a soft feint heavy into bash, from his first and second heavies in chain, meaning the ones that are not undodgeable. Black Prior can now soft feint a heavy into bulwark stance at any point in time, except
Okay,
for his
I can see that
explosive
being
heavy.
good.
And now that
okay,
his bash
wait.
doesn't deal stamina damage, he can now whiff bashes and still continue his chain anyway. Combine this with
Okay.
change number 2 and I think you have the recipe for a great hero. It doesn't matter if this would make him stronger or weaker, because most importantly it would make him more complex and fun to play. And yes, complexity directly equals fun, because you can spend more time with the same hero discovering parts of his moveset that you didn't know were useful. I've had a guy in the comments tell me that
This is
simple
powerful
heroes are
gameplay, I
more
must
fun
say,
to
in the
play because
background.
it requires you to
Very
think less.
insane
If
gameplay.
you're playing a complex hero and you don't want to use all his moveset because it's too complex for you, then just use the part of his moveset that you're comfortable with. If you want to spend more time learning that hero, then there you go. There's nothing wrong with having the option to do more.
I'm waiting for him
Let's
to
go
say
on to the
something.
final change.
He doesn't say it. I was really waiting for him to say that whenever he was giving the heavy, soft, faint bashes, that they'd be like 500 or 400 MS. He said nothing about it, so I'm going to assume he means the current soft faint bash,
I
which
mean,
is
if I pray, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he doesn't mean the current 700 MS one, but
well, he's
I was kind of hoping he would say you faint it, because I mean that would be kind of interesting if you could soft faint and then paint it.
well, he calls CCs option selects. So
I mean, they kind of option select here and there.
and well, they don't by definition. They aren't an option select, and also he thinks they're too safe. Not even
Okay, well,
specifically speaking about back CCs, just normal CCs. So I don't give him the benefit of the doubt here. I think
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt
if
this
you're gonna
one
make a
time.
video like this, you need to kind of be, in my opinion, thorough with what you're saying. So
I mean, so
Most
far, like
controversial one, but
the
really it shouldn't be.
changes he was saying
Black
don't
Prior
sound
is
horrible
overly
actually,
defensive.
except for
He
the
has two
bash.
of the
It's kind of
strongest
unspecified.
defensive tools in the game, that being crushing counters and the flip. And here I thought that For Honor wanted
Oh.
to encourage people to play offensively. I thought the core combat update wanted to encourage exactly that, but here we are. It doesn't matter if you say that Black Prior is meant to be defensive, because that's like saying that Lawbringer is meant to be defensive. Both of these arguments suck, because regardless of what these trash heroes are meant to be, the truth is that it's just not fun. And if you want to encourage defensive play over offensive play, then maybe you should look in the mirror and realize that you're the casual player and go back to pre-2020 For Honor before the CCU even existed, so you can play defensive all you want. But enough ranting. I think we should remove his light crushing counters, but keep his dash forward heavy crushing counter. This would still make him really good defensively.
No, it
because
wouldn't.
think of it as Warden having his top crushing counter and a flip. It's still massively above what most heroes get.
No.
Now let's go over why these changes would make this hero a million times.
I mean, that forward dodge crushing counter is slower than normal crushing counters by 100 ms.
You can't use it in the same way either.
It's,
It's so limited in the amount of times you can use that. It's just worse. Especially the fact it doesn't fast flow into anything either.
To even compare it to Warden's, where while Warden's is only one side, it's a 33 damage crushing counter, which in my opinion is actually pretty unhealthy, but, you know, he wants to compare it to that like it's good. It's just blatantly worse in every way.
I feel like he's just only talking about 1v1s too, because in 4v4s this would be abysmal.
Yeah.
Having a longer chain would be good for teamfight, but I mean, you just like crushing counters just are one of the only tools that Black Prayer has right now in teamfight.
That chain, the longer chain literally means nothing in teamfights. Like, when are you light heavying in a teamfight with this character? Even if we could, like, there's no.
Maybe not as
I can see a couple
as
situations.
Raw bash and dodgeable 50-50, at least from the very start, because I repeat, the bash and dodgeable 50-50 will be at the end of the chain, not just after the first hit. Still, it gives you more options, especially in teamfights, and especially on a whiff, because remember that you can now access that long-ranged bash that no one uses from 2 heavies in a row. So really,
No one uses it for a very good reason. It is 700 ms, my guy. You can
you can flip it on console on reaction, I'm pretty sure.
I could be mid-team fight, see her doing that, feint my unblockable and dodge it. It's utterly worthless. There's never a scenario in which it has any worth unless, specifically, you are fighting a scripter who dodges, bashes, and even then just use your zone. It's much better.
might just be making this hero stronger than he already is.
No, you aren't. You're making him
Consider
considerably worse.
Soon, so
Make
keep in
him
mind
strong.
that this hypothetical rework would also include a mediocre random dodge heavy. Also concerning your 3-hit chains, remember that you would be able to enter Bulwark after each one of those attacks, and also
You can already do that. You can already enter Bulwark after any attack. It's a fast flow.
soft feint any of those attacks into Bulwark as well, which would lead into an unblockable or a flip. You would be able to do a bash into light and then follow up with a normal heavy, make them think you're going to soft feint into a long range bash, so they go for a dodge attack, when in reality you're soft feinting into a Bulwark stance and flipping the incoming dodge attack. The possibilities are huge.
But you don't need to soft feint there. You can just normal feint and flip it.
I don't
Like, the soft feint to a flip is, like, kind of worthless. There's
I
like
don't get what world he thinks this like
So if
soft
you're
feint
one of those
bash is
people
going to be like some sort of huge mix-up.
because
Like-
he's still showing it as 700 ms. He's calling it the long, he knows it's 700 ms, and
He's got to be talking about it at that point. Benefit of the doubt has been revoked. Like I feel like he's just
So a 700 ms bash UD is not a. It's not a mix-up. It's not a 50.
that's not a mix-up. At this point you should just play LB and just neutral bash into people because it'll hit. I don't know, man. This is
that made it up until this point.
powerful.
Thank you. I get the impression that most people read the title, get offended that their main is getting shat on, and go defend their favorite hero as if Ubisoft cares at all about them. I want what is best for the game, and this will be the beginning of a long series where I will try to fix every single hero in For Honor, and make them as fun or balanced as they can be, within reason. Of course, Black Prior is just a cesspool, so he took a lot more work to fix
I
than
don't
a
know
hero
if like
like
Black
Warden
Prior's
would,
that bad anymore,
but
dude.
still, hope you like this.
It's like Warlord's more annoying than
Rework,
Black Prior half the time.
and good.
I mean, he just has no understanding of the core mechanics of the game or how
I
it
really
works.
don't think he understands. Like I don't know what he's playing against. Like I understand he's probably like a middle like MMR player, like or a little bit above. But I really feel like he just I don't know who he's playing against. For real, like this offense would work. Whereas I could see like some aspect where like I can kind
It
of
doesn't
like
matter if
agree it would
Black
make it more
Prior can
fun.
now do a
Like
Bulwark
lengthening
stance at
chains does
any
make
point in
characters
time,
more fun.
except from
Being able to
his
soft
ability
feint
to
into
heavy.
Bulwark would seem
And
interesting.
Now that his bash doesn't
But-
deal stamina damage, he can now whiff bashes and
That
still
bash
continue
is
his
just
chain
horrible.
anyway.
There's no
Combine this
way
with
that's
changing
gonna be
regimes,
usable.
and I think you have the recipe
Well, he
for a
Like,
thinks it
great
is.
hero. It doesn't matter
I
if this would make him stronger or
like
weaker,
that's so
because
slow.
most importantly, it would make him more complex and fun to play.
Like,
And yes,
complex
complexity.
specifically doesn't mean fun to play, though. You can have a very complex character that's just unfun to play because he's bad. Look at Highlander. Highlander's only fun to play in MM because most players are really bad and don't understand how frame advantage works or how to roll his whole entire kit. He also posted like a community poll where, let's see, I'm not gonna find the community poll real fast here. I think it's a little bit funny. Community. He said obviously posted a poll to his own YouTube channel specifically. Nobody else, only his viewers see it, or like maybe some random people. It said who is more fun using duels. It had BP, Pirate, Shellin, and Highlander. And his point, and then obviously a who is the most complex hero. Shellin, Highlander, Kensei, BP. Of course, for the complexity, Highlander got it, 65%. And for fun, Highlander got 31%. And he's pointing that out as if he's right. When only his viewers, who obviously share a very similar mindset to him, or else they would not watch him very consistently, like, it's very biased results. He, it really just seems like he doesn't actually want to inform himself on the game. He wants people to agree with what he already thinks.
Kind of echo boxing himself there.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Uh, my final thoughts are I would like it if this guy maybe reached out to some better players and talked to them and got some more insight because BP maybe brain dead in 1v1s. Well, first of all, I actually want to address something. He said the flip is the most powerful defensive mechanic. It's really not. In theory, it is, but it is a 100% hard read. It cannot be done on reaction. Only two people, maybe three. We'll say three people have been able to flip 500 MS bashes on reaction consistently enough. So it's a read for everyone. You can't flip UBs on reaction. Like, it's a hard read.
You can't even do dodge attacks most of the time.
So
On reaction, at least.
it's definitely not one of the most powerful defensive tools. It's actually considerably weaker than a dodge attack. Like, considerably so. Because you get punished so much harder for it. And then saying CCs are super strong. I mean, back CCs are incredibly strong. And they're a broken mechanic. But normal CCs, they're strong, but they're definitely not like that insane.
There's a huge risk involved with them as well.
Like, yeah, it's very interesting. Let's see.
Fun.
If you had something else
And
you
if you
wanted to touch
wanted
up on
people
before the
to
end
play
here.
offensively, I thought the core combat update wanted to encourage exactly that. But here we are. It doesn't matter if you say that Black Briar is meant to be defensive, because that's like saying that Lawbreaker
He
is
wasn't meant to be defensive. He was meant
Both
to have
of these
defensive
arguments suck,
options.
because regardless of what these trash heroes are meant to be, the truth is that it's just not fun. And if you want to encourage defensive play over offensive play, then
I mean, okay, like, you could show you spamming a bash and say the hero is so much fun here. I can show me picking any character and spamming any one move that whatever random MM player can't counter and say they're having so much fun.
I mean, I don't know. I got rep 14 on Hito from heavy spamming
Yeah,
because it worked. But then I played against good players and I couldn't do that. So
this is like almost comparable to the Griffin blindfolded video from John DeLiner and like what this is.
with the old gen Highlander player that couldn't block lights.
Yeah, and this isn't
Right.
me getting quote unquote butthurt over my main like he calls it. I think BP has quite a few flaws with him currently. I think it's actually a lot of flaws in the game. But this video is just very uninformed. Have anything else you want to add, Saucy?
Uh, no. I mean, I can see where the guy's coming from. Like, I think BP is pretty unfun to play. I think Warlord is pretty unfun to play against. But like, I think his idea of having fun and making a character complex and then making certain kits parts of a kit just completely useless is just it's like just tied up in the exact same thing for him.
I mean,
Like, I think lengthening someone's chain can make it more fun because it allows you to do more things and be more creative with your chains. But I mean, it's just he has no idea like what offense is.
yeah.
He has no idea like why characters need certain things. Like CCs are strong, especially back CCs, like you said, but they're not broken in any way. They're very high risk to reward. It's not that hard just to feint a heavy. Once you see you get CC, just to get a free light parry.
Yeah. Alright, well, that is the end of this. Thank you all for watching.